Hello and welcome to Raven's Arcana. I am Raven. This is your daily tarot spread. As always, I hope everyone's hanging in there, having a good day. And this reading is not bound to any day, week, month, or year. So if you found the reading, if you found the video, then it is meant for you. And no specific question today. We're just going to get down and dirty and see where the reading leads us. All right. So our first card is going to be the Five of Cups. So with the Five of Cups, a lot of times there is loss. This is emotional. Could be some sadness, some depression over a recent event in your life. And it is a trying time, right? It's a time where we typically separate ourselves from others, when we actually need to connect with other people and kind of talk through what's going on in our life. But yeah, unfortunately, leading off the reading with this card would signify some sadness, depression, feeling of loss, anything that would be considered maybe a negative emotion. You know, it's okay to be sad and depressed over events. We are able to access that part, you know, of our emotional spectrum. But I think something has happened in your life that is really affecting you. We have the Three of Wands. And perhaps you have tried to start down a path. You have something that you have been putting some effort into, some planning. And I really think that, you know, you had that vision, that passion to create something, to start something, whether it be a job, a project. I don't think this is relationship based. I think this has to do with something that you are actually putting a lot of work into. We know we put work into relationships, but I think this is something that has to do with possibly a job, hobby, project, something, once again, that you're passionate about, that you had that vision before you started to take action, and now you're not really seeing any progress at this point. And that can be depressing when we put a lot of energy into something, put a lot of thought, and let's be honest, you put a lot of emotion behind a lot of the things that we want to introduce to the world. A lot of times it's to create change or to generate revenue or generate happiness for ourselves and other people. We follow that up with the Knight of Cups. So yeah, there was some motion on this project, on this venture, on this creation, and you had a lot of emotion tied to it. Some might call it a passion project, right? It is, as you see the fish out of water jumping in this version of the Knight of Cups, really bringing those emotions to the surface, into the air, visible. And this also signifies, you know, something that other people will or would be able to witness, to be able to experience, to be able to, you know, get their hands on. And I think that you might have jumped the gun on this. So we have the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Wands is quick motion. And perhaps there wasn't a lot of planning that went into whatever it is you were or are attempting to undertake. And once again, this could be a job. This could be a side job, a new project, a hobby, something that you really, I think the passion took over. You know, we have the wands here, and wands are passion, wands are creativity, wands are action. I think you were overwhelmed by your creative desires, an internal need to just get this out. And I think there wasn't the correct amount of planning that went into whatever it is you're trying to accomplish create or introduce to the world, honestly. And let's get over here, and then we'll go beneath and kind of see where this leads us and what state of emotion you're in right now and how to kind of rectify that. So we have the King of Cups, and absolutely, the King of Cups is someone that is very emotionally balanced, has control. It is not someone that removes emotion completely. However, it would signify someone that can act, such as in business, without emotion, right? So you can be passionate about what you do. You can have a lot of emotions tied up into something. That is normal. That is almost necessary. But when you take action, when you make movements, when you introduce something, we want to do it methodically and have our emotions kind of below the surface. We want to use logic and reason at that point. So we make sure that we are communicating, we are advertising, whatever it is. We want to make sure that we are on point, if you will. Let's go below the surface, get some clarification on all these cards here. And we have the Page of Pentacles. And I think in this instance, the Page of Pentacles would signify you have that. The pages are typically childlike behavior, which is not always a bad thing. So you have that, and I always call it giddiness. You have that joy inside of you to want to, you want to work hard, you want to put your effort into something. You're so excited. So it's really excitement. And that childlike excitement, that glisten, that twinkle in your eyes, right? And I think that, especially with it being below the King of Cups here, this is telling you, hey, you have to balance out a little bit. You have to reel it in. And once again, we talked about kind of jumping the gun, releasing too early, introducing too early, right? Having too much of your emotions involved and not really planning things out. And so what you wanted, and what you still want, I don't think this is something you have walked away from. I think you have thought about walking away from it. But your ultimate goal is, the Ten of Cups. It is sunshine and rainbows. It's complete happiness. This would fill you with joy if you were able to launch, if you were able to get this job, if you were able to create whatever it is that you're trying to do. And with the Ten of Cups as well, there's other people involved. So I think that this is something that others would be happy for you. Others would be filled with joy, with happiness, would celebrate your success. So I think this definitely has something to do. It's bigger than you just maybe painting something, creating something just for yourself, right? This is something you would share with others, something that, if it was a job or a position, promotion, project, whatever, other people would be able to benefit from this. And your ultimate goal is for all of you to benefit. You want to get rewarded, you want to get recognized, but you also want other people to benefit. And this is kind of, opposite ends of the spectrum. The Five of Cups and then the Ten of Cups, right? You have sadness, depression, despair, a feeling of loss, and then ultimate joy on the bottom. And I think this is your wish, which is amazing. Let's look at the Three of Wands and get some clarity on here. Man, the Six of Cups, it just really shows up in all these readings. And I think with the state of the world right now, it is very relevant. Getting back to that joy that you had in the past. You know, I said that glisten in your eye, the, you know, twinkle in your eye, things that make you happy. Bring joy into your life. Feed your soul. Feed your passion. And if it's under the Three of Wands here, I think that you haven't really balanced everything out. We already said that. You moved too quickly. But I think you might have compromised some things to try to get this out. Whether it wasn't a finished product, whether if it was in an interview or a presentation or a conversation, or there were, you know, resources or products that went into it. You didn't research enough. You didn't take the time. You weren't coming from a place. It wasn't authentic. The thought is, the finished product, the job, and everything, you want to be your true self. Be yourself, right? And I think that there was some compromise that happened. And the reason I said products, you know, if you're building something, if you're making something, creating something, if you have to use other people like advertising, websites, bank accounts, things like that, you know, if it's a job or a position, perhaps you really didn't, you know, up your game on your resume. You didn't plan for the interview. Things of that nature. And this could be a double-edged sword here with the Six of Cups. So you definitely want to have that joy and that happiness, and you want to get back to the old times and the feeling of, you know, stability and all these things. You didn't worry about things like that as a child. You just went to sleep, woke up, and it was a reset. You didn't have all these thoughts of stress and despair and depression because you knew things were going to be taken care of for you. Hopefully, right? Not all of us had the same childhood. I understand that. Not all of us probably want to go back to their childhood. But this is really talking about, and I know I'm spending a lot of time on this card, but balancing your passion and being tactical, methodical at the same time, and allowing those two to coexist in different points, you know, on your path towards completion. Let's get a little bit of information on the Knight of Cups. So we have temperance. Yeah, so patience. And this look at the balancing, right? So temperance, planning things out. Towards the beginning of the reading, I talked about jumping the gun, moving too fast, being patient, right? With technology, with our society and everything, we want everything right now. I do too. I'm on board with you. If I have this, you know, image in my head, have this dream of becoming something, of doing something, I want it to happen as quickly as possible. That's not always the best way. We have to have patience. We have to dot our I's, cross our T's, keep that, you know, passion inside of us, but also, once again, I'll use the word, be methodical, because this is something that you really want to happen. Take your time. And I don't think this has gone away. I don't think just because, let's say, you bombed the interview or you botched, you know, the product that you're trying to create, whatever applies to you, it doesn't mean it's over. It means you're in a state of sadness. You're in a state where you're overwhelmed by emotion, and you can go back and you can rectify this. And absolutely, look at this. Underneath the Eight of Wands, we have the Seven of Pentacles. The 7 is a faith number. I love the 7s. The 7 of Swords, that's a deeper conversation. However, Look at you watering the plant. Look at you putting the effort in. You know that that plant, that tree is not going to grow overnight. You have to take the time. You have to nurture it. You have to make sure it is in the sun at the right times. It's getting enough water. And take the time to put the effort in. So, in conclusion, absolutely do not give up. You're in a rut right now, but you have this wonderful idea. You have this job you want. You have this product you want to release. You have this creation. You just hit a roadblock. It's because you moved too fast. Perhaps you allowed your joy and excitement to outweigh making sure that everything was in order. Your goal is ultimate joy and happiness, obviously for yourself, but I think you can change things. This product, this creation can change things for people. It'll give them something that is valuable. They can benefit. If you get this position, this job, then you can make a change in this company, this corporation, this business that will ultimately make a change in the market or in society. Everyone will benefit. So keep that giddiness, that joy, but balance it out with patience. Put the work in, take the time, reevaluate every day, and stay in control and balance that out, right? Balance your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. And it will manifest for you. It'll work out. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you enjoy the content and you're not subscribed, you can subscribe. You can also hit the notification bell to get alerts when I release new material. And yeah, hang in there. You got this. Just ease back, work through it, and have some patience. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.